let's rebuild the whole computer. But first we have to make an alteration, a small alteration. The socket will be supplied with 3 volts when the power is on by this connector. The plus goes here and it will charge the lithium battery, which it doesn't like. We're not going to do that. We're going to take the plus from this one and we're going to move it to this one, pin number 1. And this pin is for external battery, and it is being protected by this diode, so it can only flow this way. So when the power of the system goes on, no longer power can go to this because the diode is blocking it. What we do need to do is this green line here still goes to the battery, so we have to break this circuit. I really don't want to do it, but it's the best and easiest way, or else I have to remove this socket and make some kind of isolation that it doesn't make contact with this circuit. It's just simple to create one wire. I'll do it on the back side that goes from the plus to this plus of the external battery. It will not get power from the connector when the power is on. Next thing, I discovered some tiny bits of rust here, so I'm gonna use a little bit of vinegar. I just need a little bit here. Let's see if I can get a little bit clean. It's just a little bit here on these components. I've made a small scheme of how the power runs. It goes a little bit like this. So we have a plus coming from this one, the external battery that goes here, and it can charge the battery, and it goes into the BIOS. We have the power supply from the connector. 5 volt goes in here, and there's the resistor, and we need a resistor to lower that voltage, and it can also supply the battery, and then it goes into the BIOS as well. I just want to show you with the multimeter, if I put it, it doesn't beep. Oh, I think I need to put a new battery in there. Where we have power supply, this is power supply, these are all 5 volts, and this one's 5 volts. When I connect to D2, and then one of the power 0, 0, 0, and this one. So the power does go there, but I can't find the traces on the board. Now I know for certain it gets power and it charges up the battery. That's a check. I'll show you one more time. This is D2, but you can't see it going anywhere. It gets power, so there's maybe a layer within this layer that runs connections. I don't know. I don't know how high-tech they were in the 90s with these boards. I'm going to do 2 short repairs. First, we're going to add this wire like this. Connect this one here to the plus and to that plus. See. I'm making this angle because we need to go around that hole. That's it. Lay it flat a little. Do it like that. So. Like that. Well, I also broken something else very shortly, and that was the speaker wire. Well, just reassemble it. Oh, it's magnetic, of course. Want to go through the hole like that. Is it tight? I'll check it with my eyes from close. I'm gonna add a little bit. Can be better, you know. Oh, magnetic again. No, it's too much. That's good. I have to break a circuit. This green one. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I don't have some kind of small Dremel, or I could use a drill. That's a little bit harsh. I have a chisel that's pretty sharp. I think I can do it with that. I'm gonna place it on a little bit lower. I want it to be held tight. Cut away a little bit of the layer. I hate damaging the board, but there's no way else. Can we see the copper? Yeah, so there's the copper. So we need to go through that. I'll go left and right up the trace. I also don't want to expose too much the copper. Oh, this is harder than I thought. Let's look. Maybe do a little bit like that. I'll just try anything. This seems to work. This looks like it's... Oh, I'm making holes in my floor. Okay, this seems to be broken, right? So tiny part. Okay, we're gonna measure it. I think I broke it. Here's my meter. We have this one and that one. Hey, that's cool. And if I do it this side, yes. And this side, nope. This one should be now connected. Yes. So it worked. I broke the trace. Now that I've done all repairs, I can do a little bit of more cleaning around the points where I soldered. So use a little bit of alcohol. Gonna do a little bit of closer. We now have a battery socket that isn't going to be recharged when I turn on the power of the computer, but it does keep power supply to the BIOS. Finished. Now reassemble. Let's build the 486. Speakers. That's the first thing we'll do. Let's install here. I think I can just slide it in here. This time we'll do it right. Now the power supply. Put it back in. And we need to move the power cable to the front. Let's take a look. So hold it tight. And now we need the cable going to the front again. This one. And it went through this part here. So we'll have to do that again. I went like this. Now we have to pull these through. Here, underneath here. Push them through first. like that. Partially it was like that. Could we see that? The cable on the back, I pushed it in here like this. So before we tighten the whole front panel, first have to reconnect all these wires. I've learned them by head. Here goes white. On the other side behind it is black. There. Then we have blue. Front here. It's nicely isolated, by the way, with those plastics. Yeah, it's could be very dangerous. It's 230 volts going all the way to the front of the panel, to the switch. These cables will be bundled later. Does it all fit? Does it need to be a little bit tighter? Yeah, it goes lower. You need to give it some more cable like this. Yeah, that's better. We have 4 screws. So we'll do the upper ones first. Second screw. Last screw. I'll show you. So all the way down here, I have actually a few I can choose from. Okay, that's fine. It's stuck again. Now that all the wires are back, we're going to connect all the little wires. We'll start at the beginning. This is the, I want to try and, oh, this is the green one. This is the power LED. And this one should be the other way around. First, we gotta find this one. This is the key lock. Oh. This is the only one that's turned the wrong way around. The other ones all pointed with the texts to the front of the board. There goes that one. The speaker is one with 4 pins. Only 2 are connected. It's black here and red there, like that. No text. Then we have the reset switch. Nope. I think it's the blue one. Yes. Let's see if I can unravel a little bit all these wires. This one goes here, also to the front. Reset. You can also read it here. Then we have the turbo switch. That's this one. Turbo switch. That would be orange and black there. So we got those. This one, the power supply needs to go to my display unit. Behind this cable, this connector, there's power, and it says plus and minus. Plug that in. The display now has power. We have one connector left, but this one goes to the controller card, and it's for the hard disk drive. Let's reconnect the cooling fan together with the cool block. Nice and sturdy. I heard someone say you just have to remove 2 screws on the side, one front, one back, and 3, 4 up from the bottom near the 4¼ base, and the motherboard tray will lean back and come right out. I didn't know exactly what he meant by that, but I think if you take out those 2 screws, one here, 3/4 from the bottom, I think if you remove those, the tray will come out, and I think it has to do with these sleeves. But this one won't work. It has no opening. I don't think it will work for this one. I have one here on the back. This is broken off, just like that one. I just want to screw a screw in from the back so it will stick. We're putting the board back in. First, we have to add the button cell, like this. And there's a problem. Someone gave me the advice that I could somehow slide the motherboard back in. I tried it 2 or 3 times, but I don't understand how you can slide something that doesn't have room to slide. And I'll show you what I mean. I only have just about 1 centimeter that I can shift up and down. Now look at the holes of the, ooh, take it back out. Oh man, look at these. That's more than 2 centimeters. And this one and that one, you cannot even slide anything because the socket is already 2 centimeters high. So how the hell can you slide that thing out of there? It's impossible. Maybe he had a case that had more space in it to do it. Maybe on the top. I can't do that. The only way for me to do it is pre-mount these things, and hopefully they land on the correct spot. So I'm gonna put them all in high, the highest first, and this is the hardest. First pre-mount these 3 and then lay it on top. So we gotta do this easy. Okay, easy. I have this one in line. We need to have that one in line. Ooh, yes, it's 2. And that one. Yeah. Oh, I tried it once with 2 of these things already installed, thinking I could just slide it back in, but then I discovered that you only have 1 centimeter of space, so that didn't go very well. Put that one in, and then we're going to put this one in. Yes, and this one goes for free. Now we can do the screws. And 2. It's nice and tight. Only this one here is still wobbly. This case was definitely designed for larger motherboards, because I have this part of the board. Here's the other edge. Here, there's a hole where you could put one of those plastic holders, but there's nothing there. There's no hole here. But if you look further here, here's another place for a plastic holder to slide it in. But the card is not that big. The card only goes till here. This plastic is broken off, or it was glued or something. I looked around and I found a small tiny screw that actually has a point, because there's a tiny hole here where this one can fit through, and then hopefully I can screw it tight into the plastic. Let's go straight into the plastic. Yeah, it's actually holding. You see? Another improvement. Now it's completely tight. First do the power. The ground's in the middle. It only has 3 hooks. Okay. I thought they were all with a hook. Second, first through the holes on the front, and now push it down. That sounds great. Memory. This is always easy. Just put it in diagonal into the slot like that, and just push it up. I like that system. Then the second one, that was this way around. Cool. Next thing we'll do is reassemble the drives. We'll start at the top. First we take all the power cables away from these slots. First, the big one. Let's go with 3 screws. What do we have? We have how many power? I think we'll use this one for the disk drive. This one goes here because I want to add an extra hard drive. The next is our small disk drive. When I slide it in, I like it, you can slide them in from this side. This is a precision work. I'm going to try this one. Add another screw. Here it is, the screw hole. First, add power supply. You've probably seen it before. That small one that goes here, like that. Now I also want to add an extra hard drive. This is the original. This will be the master, and this is the extra one, and this is 540 megabytes. It says here. So then we'll have almost 1 gigabyte. Wow! On old systems, you need to realize that master and slave not always auto detect. We need to set master and set slave. Another hard rule: if you have an IDE cable like we have here, the one at the end, that's always the master, and then this is the slave. I've checked the settings for the hard drives, and the first jumper setting is the CD. That means single drive or primary drive, and primary drive is master. So this one's good. This one will be our slave, and that means it should not be jumped, but it's in the second slot, the jumper, and this is a reserve slot. We have a reserve jumper. So the settings are good. We need to know where do we place them with this right cable. I checked, and we need to have the red on this side, so then it would be easier that the slave is in the upper one and the master in the lower slot, because we have to connect it like this. So then we have master, slave, and then we can go back to the controller like that. Or that. Make sure we do that right. I want to take away all these cables first. We can only get 1 screw in there. Turn around, we really want it to be tight. You think you do this in a few minutes, right? Let's see, where's the hole? There's a hole. You cannot see it now, but it will show up when I push it up. It's not very practical. Yeah, it fits. Second one, the master. That's a bad thing, by the way. You have these jumpers on the back. If I would had to change settings, I would have had to remove the whole hard disk drive. Okay, this one goes in not so nicely. Oh, what did just drop? This piece of metal. Tiny piece of metal. Aluminum. It needs to stick out like this. It was like this when we took it apart. It does fit. It's actually stuck pretty good, so I'm gonna take this one out. It's very soft. It's not going anywhere. Let's bundle these wires, because they are very much. This one is from the power supply, so I'm gonna put that one up here. Let's see how to get these nicely bundled. Green, black, white. First, try to get them. Speakers too, yes. Just get the lengths the same, a bit like that. Okay, let's do it like this, and then we'll tie it here. That's nice and cozy. I don't mind if they are wiggling around a little bit in the case. Come on, get in there. Just details. Here. Don't worry about that one. Now I'm happy. Yeah, you happy? You sure? Yes. Close the gap. Cut it off. This one goes to the controller bus later. We now have the power cables for the hard drives. I think we do this way. This one up. We're not going to use this one. And this one here for the numero uno. I'm first going to put in the cards. I was talking about adding a network card, maybe another card to get soft MPU off with a wavetable for the sound card. Those are projects for another time. I'm not going to do it in this install because that would be just too much for now. I'm busy already. I'm gonna start with the sound card, and I also want to add the cable for the CD player. Why? I just wanna check it out, see if I can play a little bit with it. ISO slots can be hard to use. You really need to push it very hard. Hey, you see these pins have been bent a little bit. Can't get it in. Easy. Ooh. Pushing pressure on the board. I don't like that. Maybe if I... It's going in, but... Oh. not going lightly. It's in. We put in the audio cable here to the CD-ROM drive. Then we need to connect the other side of the connector to this one here. The pin on the left is the right output. Right headphones, totally right side is left, and left is white. Put it in like this. Put back the next card. That was this one. Put this one here. Am I missing a card? Or did I put the Sound Blaster card too high compared to last time? I'm gonna let it sit where it is. It's nice and high. I know this is going to be hard. I had trouble with this card before. I really hate installing these large cards. We also need this little fellow. Goes to these pins. If you really want to know where they were, check my other video. I'm not going to show you all that. Text facing forward shows if the hard disk is reading or busy reading. Ah, yes, it goes. Nice. That went quite easy. Just 2 ports, very important ones. It's my mouse port. I'm really curious how the system will run after all this. Then we have our graphics card, and we had these 2 empty slots. Well, what do you know? Package came from the mail. I now have 10 in my possession. Yeah, I only need 2. Now we need to add these in here. They have to be mounted the same way as these. Let's take a look at one of those chips. Toshiba, and it's the TC514260BJ70. It's this little tiny circle here. It's the start corner, and we have to place it here. That's the sort of indicator. The little dot is there, yes, and then we place it here. I think I'll just push it in like that. Yes, fits right in. Alright, let's try it like this. Yes. Bring over the computer. It was here all along. Underneath the bus controller or IDE controller. Yes. Yes. Wow. So we have some spares. Just gonna put them in. I'm gonna leave this one open. Don't ask me why. I need to use these screws for the back of my case. Okay, we're going to reconnect the IDE cables. This is the primary, and for primary we use the hard drives. The secondary we use the CD-ROM drive, and this one is for our disk drive. The red goes to the right. I have to squeeze it underneath here first. Sometimes I do these cables first and then the power supplies, but this time I don't. This is the master, so this one needs to be done first. The red must face the camera, and it is facing the camera. And then the slave goes to this one. I can't see it very well. Yes. Then the second one will do this disk drive. It always has this twist in it. The twist goes close to the disk station. Add it here, so that's easy. I'm not going to connect it now. First want to do this one. You can hardly see the red, but it's there. Yes. Oh! Ouch! I use this one because this is a newer cable. I can't use this one. Away with that cable. I still had another one. This one was longer than the other one, so I wanted to use a shorter one. But I can't. We'll use this one. And it goes in like this. And it goes all the way to the top. I decided to do this one first, because I think I'm just gonna do this one over here. I'm just gonna go in front of here. What do we need to connect? We need to connect this one. Also with the red line facing the camera. This one is on the other side of the power cable in front of it. But now I really need to take a closer look. It's somewhere here. Yeah, here. We need to connect it here. With the thumb. This one for the CD-ROM drive. We're only using a single device. So when you use a single one, always plug it in at the end. Let's do it from this side, that's easier. Red needs to face the right. It should fit this drive. It doesn't have that extra pin. I have this part hanging up here. I think I have to go underneath this power bundle. That would be easier. So I'll go through here. And then connect it. Sometimes you gotta try different routes and see what fits best. It's better. Oh boy, I did it again. I made the same mistake as last time. All these cables gotta be turned around. Red doesn't need to go to the right, but to the left side. You think you do it right, but you don't. And this one is actually, it has that little stud here. Maybe also a memory for me. Studs to the front. But this one doesn't have that stud because this is a very old cable. That's been fixed. Let's do a recap on what has been done. I've added extra cache memory, added extra memory for the graphics card. The disk drive is cleaned. I've checked the jumpers for the CPU. It runs right. I installed an extra hard drive. Maybe make it primary because it has more storage than the original. I added a socket for the battery. That one's here. If I would want to replace it, first I have to remove this connector, and then it's easy to get the battery out and replace it with a new one. Oh yeah, one small thing I haven't mentioned yet. Also, this CD-ROM drive has a jumper setting. I came across to the actual manual for this thing. I didn't even know I had it. And it just says it has one setting, and let's put the jumper in the middle. And it is in the middle. I'm just gonna leave it there. It has its own IDE cable, so it will not interfere with anything else. I didn't have this cable at all in my previous install, so this is also an extra. All the cables can be put very nicely now into the case. It's pretty full. Later I'll add a network card and a PCI MIDI card, ISO card. It can work as a MPU 401 that is needed to transfer MIDI to your other general MIDI devices. Woohoo! Look at this. Wow, I finally have space on my workbench again. I had this computer on my workbench for months. Normally when I do these things, they just can be done in a week, but now I'm filming all this stuff. All the rust here is gone. See, the text is almost removed. Wow, check this out. The top's still ugly, by the way, but I don't care. I've bleached it a little bit and sun brightened it, but yeah, you can see it's still yellowish. But I like the results. It looks fresh again. Fresh and upgraded. Last detail. Locked.
I finally have put the computer back together. I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe you've learned something as well. I sure did. And there's still more to learn. For example, the jumpers for the display on the front of the panel. Next part, I'll do a clean install of the system, do some tests, and compare the results. Bye!